Here are 5 things to know before you start playing fantasy football. First off, it can really help to know who you're playing with. The people that you play with can basically set up your entire strategy. If you know that a certain player that you're playing against likes a certain team and they pick players from that certain team early, it might allow you to wait on certain players, or if you like those players, you might also have to pick them up earlier. It also makes a difference when it comes to picking up players later in the season. If you know that someone, like I said, likes certain players, then you might have to be a little more risky if you also like them. Or when you're looking at a free agent to pick up and you know that someone that you know also may be interested in that person, you may have to be a little more daring when it comes to picking someone up, just because you know that it may be your only chance, because if you wait too long, someone could pick them up. Knowing what you're going to play for could also make a difference, big difference in how much you care. If you play for something that is important to you, I mean, it might obviously make you care a little more. So it can be better to get some experience before playing for something that is important to you. Knowing where you're going to play is also a big deal. There are many sites that have fantasy football, mainly just sites that report sports news. I mean, the ESPNs, Yahoos, NFL.com, just various sites that allow you to play. How you want to play can also be changed by the websites. Me personally, I play on the ESPN website just because they have the most ideal situation for me when it comes to fantasy football. But knowing where you're going to play could also make a big difference in how you play, what you play for, your strategy, and all those types of things. When you're going to play also makes a difference. Knowing when to pay attention to things like your draft or your lineups can set up your entire season. A lot of people pay attention to who they're going to draft or how they're going to draft at least a week before the draft. I mean, that's basically ideal, I guess. Some people go weeks or a month before, and that could help too. But knowing who you're going to draft beforehand makes a big difference. Also, knowing when to check your lineups can make a big difference. I personally suggest at least waiting until a Wednesday because of things like injury reports or just injuries in practice and things of that sort, because waiting until then can allow you to know what's going to happen, I guess, knowing who you're going to go with. Also, Wednesdays are oftentimes a day where free agents are able to be picked up from waivers. So that once you have the players that you may have picked up from waivers, it could also help you know who you're going to put in your lineup. Another thing about it being Wednesdays is that since there are so many games on Thursdays, it could allow you to have your lineup set up right before the games, because some leagues may lock before Thursday or something like that. So a lot of it can depend on league, but I would suggest that Wednesdays are a good day to do it. Knowing why you want to play will also enhance your interest, maybe. I mean, if you have a reason to play, like, that goes along with the reasoning of the people you're playing with, it can make it more fun. I mean, the reasons can be things like camaraderie, learning more about the game, just being more in tune or more up to date with what's going on, can all just be reasons why. It can keep you and your friends, or you and whoever you play with, closer together. It allows a lot of people just a way to express how they see football in a way that others can also learn from or share. A lot of it just comes to sharing your knowledge, your interest in football, and hoping that it could lead to a greater knowledge or a greater understanding. So those were 5 reasons that could help you get to know fantasy football a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the box below, and just thank you for watching.